everybody, and welcome here to another Kerfuffle Showcase. And I am delighted to have with me on the show today, Aaron and David from Keyhive. How are you, gents?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you. Well, I've got a bit of man flu, to be fair, but thank you very much for inviting me on anyway.
Man flu, and you've made it on. Oh, you really make me. And you've got the hat behind you as well, so that's perfect. Actually, I think you've got this will be known as the only show in history where I wasn't wearing my kerfuffle pink. But anyway, so this will be like a penny black in years to come. This one
it'll be remembered for everyone.
Well, yes, right, guys. Keys, they're a lot of fun, aren't they? Keys. What was the thing we were saying off camera there? Basically, was. Everybody likes to have a problem that is keys. Are you the solution to their problems, guys? Tell us first of all why we should continue watching here today.
Well, basically, Keyhive was born because I run my own letting agency, and we have had an issue with keys in the past. I'd spent many a time looking at it and ways to make it better, improve it, and what do we do with it. And after looking for a long time, there wasn't anything out there. And over the COVID lockdown, I had a couple of friends, Dave and another gentleman called Chris, contact me suggesting, have you got any ideas in the property sector which you're looking at improving? I said, actually, yes, I've been looking to improve keys, and here we are, really. So started about 2 years ago developing and testing it, and now we're kind of launching the sales side of things. But it was built from my own problem of going to the key drawer, finding there's no keys in there, or looking in the key book and realizing the contracts had the keys for 4 weeks, and decided there's got to be a better way of doing this. We can't rely on photocopying keys and writing in an A4 book for the rest of our life type of thing. So then here we are.
And so a lot of agents will be nodding along, obviously, in agreement on that. And I think a lot of them will actually as well be really, really pleased that your experience comes from their pain point, isn't it? This is a classic origin story again, isn't it? Somebody is so frustrated with their own experiences. Actually, they've said, let me go and build that off. But the wonderful thing about that, I always see, whether it's somebody like Christian at the depository or Kaya area or something like that, is you minimize that minimum viable product period, don't you? Because you've lived it and breathed it. So you're not techies in an ivory tower. You've got a pretty good idea of exactly what the issues are and how to solve.
Yeah, completely. It's to solve the problem which we had, and numerous agents or friends I have who've got the problem, and it solved their problem as well. And yeah, it's not just an idea brought out of thin air. What should we create? It's something which is a problem, and a problem which has been cured from my side.
Yeah, and from the tech side, it was a dream come true, because usually you would go in there and have to figure out problems from the outside, like you say. But working with Aaron, having that problem and really being able to scratch your own itch made it an interesting challenge. And yeah, like you said, that instant feedback. We had really quick cycles, iterations, and improved the product really quickly with Aaron and some of his peers. So yeah, the product is in a great place, and the features added have been received really well so far. So yeah, absolutely.
Bizarrely, did being in lockdown help? Does being able to focus and concentrate? I mean, obviously, I'm not saying we would have all wished for that period, but I was just wondering, actually, from a rather boring techie angle there, did that enable you to keep really focused and tight on the project?
Yeah, I think so. I was saying that the kind of classic entrepreneur sort of vision is you're working 24/7 on your passion project, and it definitely helped. There was no distractions. And regarding how the estate agent market changed as well, Aaron had perhaps a little bit more time as well, because things slowed down a touch, so we could spend more time looking at the product, getting that feedback as well. And overall, I think that definitely showed in what we produced. But yeah, it was a quiet time, and yeah, it was definitely useful from our side.
Cool. And Aaron, what do you remember approximately how many keys it was before you started really hitting the pain point and it started becoming unmanageable?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me about this. It's normal. I say between 120, 150 keys from a management point of view, which people start to think, I could be doing something different with this. We've spoken to people, on the low end and said, yes, I can see the use there, but we don't have that much of an issue with keys as of yet. But then when it starts to really, from the customers we're seeing come on board, it's really, about 120 to 150, and anything over really, you can be people touching the thousands quite easily. But anything from that and over, really.
Well, far be it for me to be your champion, but I'm guessing, though, you would agree that actually the best time to get it is way before you start feeling the pain point as well, is to get the structure and organization in and then to build it up from there.
Yeah, with anything, anything prop tech based, anything you want to get involved with, the sooner you get involved with it, the better. It sets up systems within business. It sets up ways you're going to operate. To change a larger agency from a system they've been using for 20, 30 years is a mountain and a minefield compared to, someone who started and they got a couple of members of staff and then it grows with the business and, people get used to it. So yeah, the sooner the better, of course. But we are getting involved in each stage of that journey. But yeah, if you get involved from the first day, then obviously it makes a massive difference.
And the thing that matters, the things that have made you most pleased, I guess, what was the initial feedback from your first clients?
My first question to a lot of, again, a lot of agents I speak to at the moment, you do get we haven't got issue with keys, but people who are open with it will give you the expletives and what they think about keys. If someone I know or someone a peer or someone I in the industry, they'll be completely honest with me and say, yeah, they're a nightmare in context. So when I kind of come in and demo it and explain, the automation and the speed of it, they go, well, I wish I thought of that idea because it's absolutely brilliant, and they're a bit envious from that side because it's something they've had a pain point for years, and it's such a simple system. So the feedback's very positive, and why didn't I think of that myself, type of thing.
Yeah, why didn't I think about that, and the amount of time saved, and it's lovely to hear it, the positive feedback, and I think one of them wanted to invest in the business as well, which was a lovely thing to hear. But yeah, it's great, when we log in and we can kind of see activity buzzing through the system and seeing all the people checking in, checking out and whatnot. It's really nice to see that we're making people's lives a bit easier and a bit less stressful, which is something we all need.
And is that the main pain points you are solving for them? They're telling you around it is the efficiency side of things, relieving that side of the pressure of it? Is it? What else do they give you the feedback that they enjoy about the service?
I think the main focus is the nice that keys are being dealt with, and there's a system in place which means they don't go to the key cupboard thinking, oh, is the key going to be here or isn't it going to be here? I think it's just that's done, that's dusted, that's been looked after, and right, there's always concern. You go into a viewing and I don't know, no one's viewed this property for the last 2 weeks. You need to let this property, go to the key drawer and the key's not there. It's the worst feeling as an agent in your think, oh gosh, this is my chance. I've got to be there in 30 minutes and this might be the let I need because it hasn't been let for the last 2 weeks. To have that kind of feeling removed, that you're pretty happy that key is going to be there and it has been chased automatically, and that it's not going to be out of the office, from a member of staff point of view is quite good, because that sinking feeling of it not being there and then having to ring a contractor and the contractor says, oh, I bought that back 2 weeks ago, and then you have to find the other contractor's gone out to, for that not to be there, it is definitely a benefit.
Great. And why do you think it's taken so long till now? Because obviously keys have been a perennial problem, haven't they, for a period of time? Is it that it needed that spark from yourself to kind of say, let's do this? Is it only at this stage that the technology's kind of has enabled people to be able to get up to speed? Why is it taken so long for us to get here?
Not too sure, really. I don't really know what the kind of the delay, but I think prop tech has grown massively in the last couple of years, as you know from your point of view. Yeah. I think it's a ship which is only just really sailed, with lots of people getting involved and looking at ways to improve it. So the technology being there, the benefits agents are seeing. I think a lot of the old agents and the agents who've been around for a long time are stuck in their ways. And I think the breed of new agents and younger agents coming through are a lot more proactive to ways to make their business more efficient. And that goes for, you know, every part of a letting agent's business, that people are buying into there's a product which can make us more efficient, or we can improve from this point of view. And I don't know if that's just a generational thing of you know, the youngsters growing up with tech, bring it into the to that stuff. I definitely find personally, when speaking to agents who are signed up, who are interested, it's definitely a younger side, a younger generation. The ones who've been around for a lot longer definitely don't want to get involved as much. So yeah, a mix of lots of things really. Maybe it's the perfect storm, a kind of pop tech and technology coming along at the moment.
I think one of the problems you've got there as well is, isn't it, one of the biggest challenges for any suppliers, and especially prop tech, is, you know, people have just always done it that way and don't think that there's really anything else to see there. And I think that opening them up, whereas sometimes they have got a little bit sort of protective about, you know, feeling that you're being critical of the business at all, but really it's just critical of the way things have always been done, isn't it? So you've got to kind of challenge yourselves, I think, from time to time, just to make sure that you are, you know, you are at the top of your game, really.
Yeah, old habits die hard, and I guess old processes die even harder, and especially if it's ingrained into a business and in a fast-moving industry as well. If you're trying to get in and out of an office as quickly as possible, there's a certain process you don't even look at, you don't even think to second guess, because it's such a natural thing just to go to the key hooks, the key box, grab a key, and out you go. And we're trying to explain to people that there is a better way. There's a way to, you know, improve your efficiency and to remove a lot of the headaches around keys, and hopefully, you know, improve the quality of life for these agents, for staff, and for contractors around keys.
Cool, yeah, cool. And how long's it been alive, guys? Has it?
So we've it depends. We're doing the way to describe it is bits and bobs really. We launched officially about this time last year, but then put a pause on it. We got a good bunch of customers on, but with bringing those bunch of customers on, it made us aware that we had to bring certain support things along with it and make certain adaptations with the kind of the product and stuff. So we kind of put a halt on it, and Dave spent a bit of time on getting the kind of the background side of it working, so it was all efficient. You know, it's all very well me using it and a couple of other people using it to test subjects, but as soon as you get paying clients on, they have different pain points of using it. They use the system differently. So you know, we did a lot of adaptation to kind of bring the product to where it is now, and then we started pushing kind of from this year. So I'd say officially really this year, but it was last year effectively.
Yeah. So yeah, we've launched about 12 months now, and yeah, it has been steady increase, bringing on new clients, adding new features and whatnot, and yeah, absolutely. We've kind of taken the venture and the plunge into the kerfuffle world, which has been delightful so far. Had some leads already through your platform and your network, which is wonderful. And yeah, looking to kind of accelerate and get our name out a bit more now that we've got a much more fully featured product.
Lovely, great. Well, hopefully we can help you on that side of things, and thank you for joining up to the journey, as they would say, in some sort of weird American sort of thing. Give us an idea of the price point, guys. This isn't which end of the scale are we? Are the more right movie end of the scale? Are we at the entry level in terms of prop tech? Where does this fit?
I think our price is kind of in the middle price ground with other competitors out there. We're not kind of the premium Rolls Royce, and we're not on the low end. You know, for instance, you need for each set of keys, you need a fob. You know, we charge a fob at 20p per fob. So in the setup costs are reasonable. We don't charge for the kiosk, which is kind of where you sign the key in and out. That's included within the setup. And our normal price is £55 per month plus VAT. We have a kerfuffle on, which brings it down to £45 per month.
Even better. Under 50 quid then. That's
exactly.
That's what we're no, that's really good. That's really
and that doesn't matter how many properties you have. So you know, it's the same price all the way up. It doesn't mean we'll change that, it won't change that in the future. But at the moment, it's £45 a month and 20p a fob.
Thank you for looking after it, guys. I think I need to point out though, don't I? Isn't that for the first 50 clients? So don't waste your time. Make sure you're emailing.
That is at the moment for yes.
Contacting, however you can get to them quick and claim those so you don't miss out there, guys. And is it available to all agents? Do you use, are you hitting a certain demographic of client in terms of size, place in the marketplace, or is it for everybody?
It's for everybody. Anybody who wants to make their keys more efficient or wants to make the whole process better. It's open to anyone, commercial, residential, student. Yeah, the whole spectrum from that point of view.
And how easy is it to get onboarded? Is it a relatively seamless process? Are we looking at days, weeks, months? What does that side of things look like?
So yeah, from our side, it can be as quick as we can get the data. So I think most PMS systems at the moment offer an export functionality. So if you can get to us properties and a bit of key information, we will handle all the import, we'll handle all the transitions and whatnot. Onboard you, set you up, send over your profiles, and away you go as soon as your kiosk has been delivered, which is only next working day. So
that is, I mean, to be fair, mate, that is a really good hand-holding exercise there, isn't it? Because the one thing that my experience of talking to hundreds of agents on a monthly basis is, you know, they are so busy, they need as many solutions as possible to work out of the box. You know, you can only roll out one of the big projects, a CRM one or a website or whatever, once every 6 months, 9 months. So to be able to have things like this where you will take a lot of that pressure off them is quite important, isn't it?
It can be very intimidating, especially, you know, for people who aren't used to using too much tech. So that's why we do offer it. You know, we work hand in hand with them, one-to-one, and one of us will be there all the way through the process to make sure it's working, get them set up, and then make sure the first couple of weeks that they're using it, understand how it's all working, and getting the most out of the system as well.
Perfect, great stuff. Going forwards as well, what's the sort of support that's available to them?
We're in constant contact with if there is an issue. So support is 9 to 5, no problem, Monday to Saturday, Sunday. They've always got my phone number, so then the issues gets back to us straight away. If anything goes down, we've got kiosks in stock for kind of next day delivery. Support is not an issue from that point of view. We're always around if you need us.
A phone number, you know, these tech people are all going online forms and stuff like that. There will be a lot of agents out there that will be breathing a sigh of relief, because that digital journey often for support doesn't quite deliver sometimes, and that can be quite frustrating.
Yeah, WhatsApp seems to be such a good way of support. You know, just my main thing is if there's an issue, take a video or something, send it across. We can help it straight away. Anything like that, it's the contacts were quite straight away from that point of view, and it works really well.
As long as you can avoid getting distracted by going into WhatsApp and seeing all the gifts and memes and everything else there. But
we're not as popular as you. We don't have that problem.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously there are similar products out there in the marketplace at the moment. How have you intentionally segmented yourself away from those? What's the kind of USPs or the secret sauce that's gonna, you feel, set yourselves apart?
Yeah, we looked quite a lot at kind of when we designed the product. We didn't look at what everyone else was doing and kind of thought, well, what works for my agency and what do we want to avoid? I think our main point as a business, but we wanted the system to be quick and easy to use, from kind of staff and using it within a business. It's got to be easy and it's got to be quick. And if they can't get on with the product or that takes too long to do, they just won't do it. So, you know, we looked at an option of, for just creating an app on a phone. Yeah. But as you know, as agents know, staff are very busy, and the summer periods you're on that phone all the time. And if someone brings in keys and you've got to get off your phone and unlock the phone, you won't do that. You'll take a set of keys and you think, oh, I'll do that later. So we want to avoid keys being put down, and creating a focal point is when keys come to the office, they get signed in, when they get signed out. So we shied away from the app side of things because if we felt like it was too much time unlocking the phone, loading it up, it just had too much time to the whole process. We looked at NFC readers, which you can have on your desk, but again, you've got to load up the product, or if you have it on your desk, again, it's too simple to, I'll just do it later. So we created a kiosk focal point, should we say, and within my office, it's when keys go out, they go through this point, and when keys come in, they go through this point, and that's it. There isn't a open deck of, right, you can do this, it's very much in and out through one point. And that's kind of why we went down there. I'll just pull up to the camera. You know, we've got an Android tablet, which is really on the front desk of our office, and that's where keys go in and keys go out, and it's a simple idea behind it and a quick idea behind it. And that was the main focal point, really, is that if it wasn't quick and easy and it wasn't simple and there was too much choice to do something, then people wouldn't use it. So that's kind of the route went down.
Similar to what Aaron was alluding to earlier on about having keys dealt with. So it's one central bit of hardware that deals with keys, and there's one software portal that people can have open in the background. They can flick to it whenever they want to see the current state of the keys, how many are overdue, how many are out at the moment, who's got what key. Want to keep it as simple as possible, but also one centralized place. So you have your dashboard and your portal to keep an eye on what's happening with the keys, and you have this one very simple Keyhive that is used and is the focal point that all keys go in through and all keys go out through.
Great stuff. And how do you feel, you know, I mean, obviously you famously, again, you're at the start of a journey here. Where do you think it will develop through to as well? Can there be even greater efficiency gains and things like that with there? You don't, obviously you don't have to tell me because you'd have to kill me and all that sort of stuff there, but what are your plans, I suppose, you can tell us for the future?
Well, at the moment, we've got obviously the kiosk, which is office based, and what we're looking at. We are looking at an app based now for different eventualities when you're not in the office. I think from that point of view, given the option to be able to supply the key process to in and out of the office is quite important. There's obviously talk of, you know, people ask, do we do GPS tracking, and, you know, can you find a key if it's in the middle of nowhere? But then you start looking at cost points. You know, people are happy to spend the money they do on the current system, but by the time you start doing lots of bolt-ons, the costs, they increase greatly. And that's kind of why you know, we focus on the kiosk, was that you can actually capture signatures. So we've got a date stamp, a time stamp, and a signature stamp. So that really focuses on the accountability. So when it comes to the GPS side, it's kind of, you don't need to be looking at that, because once those keys are left those office, if that contractor signed for them and dated and stamped them, that is their responsibility. So you know, that is something we've discussed, but it's just not viable from our point of view when you already assign the accountability, and it's no longer your responsibility, which I think is quite key.
And your the kiosk there, that's completely standalone, so it doesn't need to have integrations with other systems or anything else like that. Somebody can come to you no matter what they're using there, and quite happily use the Keyhive solution.
Yeah, completely standalone. So that you just onboard your keys number, as in your key numbers and your properties onto it, and you just use it as a standalone unit. For instance, with ourselves and our agency, we keep all the key numbers on our CRM, but then we go find the key number, go to the key drawer, and then all the rest of the processes, take it to the kiosk, sign out for the kiosk, and do it quite quickly. Well, if we have a second, I'd actually quite like to just show you the process of how quick it is. If I can just share my screen, I'll do a really quick.
But while you're doing that as well, I do, as I said, my team will shout at me at this because I'm bouncing you away from kerfuffle. But actually, it's really worth having a go into the keyhive.io website there, because, again, a really punchy, nice video, which I think I said to you guys before was one of the best I've seen, explaining, again, very simply what the proposition is, and that really gets it across. Some websites you can famously go to, can't you? And you're still none the wiser after having looked at it for 5-10 minutes. So you're to be applauded for that.
Thank you. It's we spent a bit of time on that trying to get it right. So I'm really glad you like that. Now, really quickly, so contractors come in, he's asked for 2 set of keys. We've gone and got the 2 set of keys. We bring them down to our kiosk, and we hold the 2 sets of keys in front of us, in front of the kiosk. It brings up the sets of keys with key numbers. We confirm those keys are going out. We'll select my name. Once someone's on the system, they're always on the system. Confirm I'm taking them. Sign. And that's those 2 sets of keys signed out to that person with signature, date, and time. And when they come back, those keys coming back, and confirm. That is as quick as it is, just like that.
Yeah, now that's how you do a product demonstration, to be fair. I was just thinking, you know how some of those Apple ones have, the sequences have been shortened to accommodate. There's not really any way you could have done that. Yeah, that gets it across,
You know,
really
and that's
simple.
really just that's to show the speed in the process, because that's
Yeah.
the main thing. It's got to be quick, otherwise people won't use it. There's obviously more detail into that, which, you know, we can evaluate on that and do a more in-depth demo later. You know, you can pick return dates, you can switch. That was a short-term checkout for contracts and staff. You can switch that to a long-term checkout, which allows you to take a photo of the keys. So if it was a tenant signing out a set of keys, or landlord or property you've sold, and you don't know when that property is coming back, it will take a photo of those keys. So when they come back, you can take another photo. So, you know, you've got different types of checkouts, different timescales on them. But from a pure member staff taking those keys and getting out on viewings, it's bam, 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 sign out and off we go. So really quick from that side.
And developing the system, guys, did you go for something to start off with which you were going to keep fairly, you know, locked down so that it could work out of the box, or have you created it to be quite customizable? Which approach did you go for? Because obviously there's neither one that's wrong or right, is there? But what did you, which way did you veer towards when you were releasing the product?
So regards to customization, we do offer the ability to brand, add customer branding to the product. So if they wanted to, the customer could display their own logo on the kiosk, and also the fobs that are attached to a key set, we can have those printed to have their own logo, just to improve that branding and to improve the impact when dealing with customers and contractors and whatnot. Regards to integration as well, we are working with some of the larger PMS systems to,
I can ask you, okay,
to add some sort of integration. So we're kind of in early stages of that in discussions, but that's something on our roadmap and that we're working towards and hoping to get delivered in the near future as well.
Yeah, great. That's really, really good. Okay, so I mean, and as you just showed me there, you know, it's just your slogan is, what is it? Tap, sign, go, isn't it? That's does what it says on the tin, really, doesn't it? On the keys, anyway. So that's really, really good. So what I'm taking from this then is, if we're looking at this, is you've got, you know, speed. The speed is there. One thing we haven't touched on, actually, that I think you did say off camera as well. Did you say the reporting is quite strong within the thing as well?
Yeah, so there's basically a live dashboard which really gives you a drill down into each individual key, each individual person. You can really see a full history on that key, or full history on that property, and really quite easily. Everything's kind of drilled down into it, which I found, you know, really quite useful from a point of view of, you know, when were those keys returned back on that certain date? Did someone have them? You know, this door was left open. Who was out there last? You know, was it this contract, or a light was left on or something? It really helps you drill down to exactly who's had the keys. And with that dashboard, it also gives you a live update on if those keys are overdue. You know, if we've got 3 sets outstanding, they've been marked as overdue, and it's flashing up telling you those keys have been out for more than 7 days. Why aren't they back? It also, you get a everything's automated from a chasing point of view. So contractors are chased within 7 days by text and email. So you know, that's instant. Nothing you need to do, no phone calls from your side, no emails. Everything's automated from that side as well.
Makes the heavy lifting just getting after those ones when they have gone missing.
Yeah, completely.
And that reporting whole side of things as well gives a level of accountability, doesn't it, as well? So you pretty much are going to know who's got them at any given time.
Completely that. It's extremely handy that way.
Excellent. So as I said, is what would look like success to you guys then going forwards over the course of next year? Where would you like to? We're sat here next year catching up, and I've definitely lost a couple of stone, which I'm planning to do. What would you be pleased with how it's been going for you?
That's a tricky question, really. Dave, do you have an answer? Any progress is good progress to me, you know, anywhere really from my side.
I mean, we just want to keep developing the product from the product side of view, add features, keep listening to our customers and making sure that they have a product that they're really happy with and it's ticking all their boxes. Just getting out there. You know, we are planning on trying to get to set up some booths and some of the conferences in the near future. So it'd be nice to get out there and meet some potential customers, some of the suppliers, and put some faces to names. It'd be lovely if we're, you know, catch up in a year's time and see where things are going. But yeah, just carry on the trend. To be honest, we're really happy with with where we are at the moment and the trajectory, and the feedback we're getting so far has been, you know, very, very humbling and very positive. And yeah, just keeping up what we're doing, to be honest.
And Dave, from your point of view, what's the biggest challenge you find in all this, either from a technical perspective or just the inherent process that goes on? What's your biggest blocker to making this, I suppose, much easier?
So we built it. We basically decided. Sorry. So from the very beginning of this project, we knew that scalability had to be very important, because things can escalate really quickly. If you bring on board an agency that perhaps has 500 properties and whatnot, and then another one, that's doubled the amount of load that your system has to handle, etc., etc., etc. So we have built it from the ground up to handle, you know, millions and millions of keys. So that isn't an issue. But from a technical point of view, I feel like we've already solved a lot of the challenges we've had. We've built it from the ground up to be scalable, as I mentioned. Performant as well is very, very important, as Aaron's mentioned. The critical thing is it's got to be quick, got to be reactive. You can't be sat there waiting for a spinner just for, you know, 10 seconds for something to work. So speed is absolutely critical. I think we've nailed that as well. But yeah, I mean, we're happy with the stack. There's obviously, from a technical point of view, some work to be done, but yeah, we think we've ended up with quite a solid system, reliable, and yeah, hopefully scalable. But we'll see as we bring on more customers, see if we start to get any
those
red
are all
dots.
nice challenges to have, aren't they? So that's
yeah, you could have worse problems if yeah. What happens when nobody does anything?
Well, look, listen, I'll just have it as ever. I have to, you know, as well as I've said how brilliant their site is, make sure you go and look at Keyhive, obviously on kerfuffle.com as well. A whole wealth of information on their reviews and everything else there. There's a couple of great ones I was just reading at here from Rex Walker. CB Walker and Son. Excellent key solution is the title. Keys, the bane of an agent's life. How many times have I ever heard that said? We started using Keyhive when our old key management system reached end of life. Having researched the market, none of the products did everything we needed it to a reasonable price. Keyhive was straightforward to set up, quick and easy to use, and the minor bug snags that have arisen have been promptly and fully resolved. That's exactly what you want to hear, isn't it? In terms of when you're releasing and developing a system. And then the other one here from Joe at Tomlinson's, revolutionary key management system. We've been using Keyhive for half a year now, and it's fantastic. I have used many different key systems when visiting other estate agents and never found any to be stand out. Keyhive simplifies the whole process, allowing users to track keys online and automatically remind contractors when they should be returned, as well as much, much more. I would highly recommend the product. That must be nice for you to see those when they come in like that, isn't it?
Yeah, really it cost us a little bit of money though, but you know, it's worth it. No, it's lovely. It's fantastic. And yeah, it really does make you feel good. And you actually, sounds a bit corny, but making a difference and actually helping people's lives. That's kind of what the business is for.
Well, you're not in some esoteric area of prop tech, are you? Where it's all like theoretical blockchain and, you know, machine learning and all this wonderful weird stuff that's going to eventually turn into Skynet. You're solving probably one of the most everyday challenges that an agent has. Yeah,
it's immediate. The impact is immediate. You know, as soon as people get onboarded, we get a response straight away saying that it's fantastic and it's saving them tons of time. And as Aaron said, why don't we think about doing this ourselves? So yeah, it's lovely hearing those words, and yeah, makes it all worthwhile.
Lovely. And let's mention that deal again, because it's a truly fantastic one there. So all you have to do, guys, is log in on kerfuffle.com and you can see the deals. That's when it opens up to you. It's free of charge there. So don't worry about anything there. So the first 50 customers via Kerfuffle, these guys are offering setup free worth 150 quid, no charge there. And we do know how you estate agents hate setup fees. So there's a standout reason to get straight through this. Monthly charge, which is normally £55 per calendar month, which of course is still great value, is now down to £45 to the first 50 customers. And as you said before, I think Aaron, didn't you said 20p per fob as well?
20p per fob, yeah.
So guys, just obviously go via there, jump over or get in contact with them direct and tell them you obviously, and make sure you let them know you're a Kerfuffle client and get on board. Guys, really, really interesting learning today. Sounds really exciting for you, what the future's got to hold, and got a really good solution there for estate agents to help out their businesses.
No, thank you. Thanks very much for your time. It's positive, and hopefully next year to much growth and lots of feedback, and keep on growing the business and the product. So yeah, we're excited.
Wonderful. That's the key. You should be. That's it. If you can't get excited about prop tech, what can you?
Yeah. Cheers, Simon. Thanks for having us.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye bye.